Okay, today's our topic is our environment, our concern. What is ninth chapter? Our environment, our concern in 10th class biology textbook. So if you see what is mean by environment. Environment is the sum of physical and chemical interaction of organisms in a area is called an environment. Sum of physical and chemical interaction between the biotic components and abiotic components in an area is called environment. So if you see, I said biotic components and abiotic components. What are biotic components? So suppose if you take land, air, temperature. So these are all called as water also. So land, air, temperature and water. These are called what? Abiotic components. Those who are not having life, those are called abiotic components. So these are very important to survive the organisms in an area. Right, if you see what you mean by biotic components. Biotic means what? Life. They have life. Who have lives? Flora and fauna. Flora and fauna. What is mean by flora and fauna? Who are having flowers? Those are called flora, is nothing but plants, and fauna is nothing but animals. They are having life. Flora and fauna. They are come under biotic components. Abiotic components means what? Land, air, temperature, and water. So all the organisms like these plants and animals, they are depending on land, air, temperature, and water for their survival. So in this situation, what is happening? This is composed of an environment. This is all togetherly called as an environment. Right. So if you see interdependency, what it is called as interdependency. What do you mean by interdependency? Interaction between the organisms and abiotic components. Okay. So if you see, all the organisms are depending on others for their food needs. All the organisms like animals, if you take we are also depending on other animals for our food needs. So if you see here, food chain, first one. What is food chain? Food chain explain about the interdependency of the organisms. Food chain explains about the interdependency of the organisms for their food needs. If you take, I will construct a small and simple food chain. What is the food chain? If you take a plant, plants are eaten by a insect, insects are eaten by frog, again frog is eaten by snake. This one, again snake also eaten by hawk. Right. So if you see plant is called as producer. A food chain always starts with a producer. So what is producer? Plants. Plants are capable to trap the solar energy and utilizing that solar energy to convert or to compose the glucose. That glucose will be converted to starch. Okay now. So plants are called as universal food providers. You can see in the first chapter. All the plants are considered as a universal food providers. Whatever the food material we are getting, that is all coming from our plants. So that is why these are called producers. So ultimately these plants are also using sunlight. Sun. So sun is the ultimate energy source for all the organisms or living beings in the world. So this sunlight, they are using sunlight to perform photosynthesis. Right, we'll discuss about. Next, producer. So always a food chain start with a producer. Next, it shows a arrow mark. An arrow mark is there now. So that arrow mark always explain about the food to feeder. So this is food. Which is food? Plant is food. Food to feeder. So insects are eaten by frog. So insects are food for frog. Next, frog is eaten by a snake. Then snake is a feeder. Next, here snake is eaten by a hawk. Then it is called as a snake is called as food and the hawk is called as. Right. So here discuss about food chain and food web. The difference between food chain and food web. So you can write that definition also. If you write completely here up to here, it will be as a food chain definition. It is will be as a food web. So differences. So food chain interlinking of organisms. It is formed because of the interlinking of organisms. Next, if you see in food web, it is the interlinking of food chains. So many food chains will be there here. But if you observe here food chain directly, only one trophic level. Next, if you see food chain always like this linear, no? So here something is there, here something is there. So what it is in linear shape. But food web may not be linear. It is looking like a web-like structure. Okay, na? So it is not looking like a linear. It is looking like a web-like structure. Next, it is confined by a particular trophic level. It is nothing but it is discussing about only particular trophic level. But here, if you see, single organism participate in different trophic levels. Is nothing but forest ecosystem, or terrestrial ecosystem, or else desert ecosystem. So we'll see those type of so that is why single organism participate in different trophic levels. Next, fourth one, what is food chain? Food chain, it does not provide stability, but here if you see food web, it provides stability. So this is about that. Okay. Ecological pyramids. So ecological pyramids are first described by Mr. Charles Elton in the year 1927. So he represented the food chain or food web in a graphical manner. Is nothing but like a pyramidal structure, that is called ecological pyramid. So if you observe ecological pyramids, here we have segments from here to here, here to here, here to here. There are some segments. So these segments are called as trophic levels. What they are called as trophic levels. So if you observe these trophic levels, it indicates only the organisms belongs to this segment only. So small segment of ecological pyramid is called as a trophic level. So if you observe these trophic levels, we can observe first here producers, and next primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers also there. Tertiary consumers. Here there is no place, that's why I am writing here, but you should write inside the pyramid only. Next, top carnivores also there. So shall I explain you with an example? Just now we discussed, right? Grass is eaten by grasshopper. Grasshopper is eaten by frog. Frog is eaten by snake. Snake is eaten by a hawk. See once. It is nothing but eagle. Hawk or eagle. Right. Right. So when you observe from the bottom to top, the ecological pyramid always upright. How it is looking like? Up, right. So ecological pyramid always upright. Whenever you are going from the bottom to top, the size is going to decrease, isn't it? And it is going to be end at a point of the time. So if you see first segment is nothing but what? Trophic level producer. So that producer is what? Grass only, no? So in first trophic level, we will observe the producers. The segment is explaining about the producer, nothing but grass. Next, if you see the second level of trophic level, what is that? Grasshopper. Grasshopper is nothing but herbivores. Herbivores animal, you know. So this explain about the herbivorous animals, and they are feeding on these producers. Is nothing but grass is eaten by the grasshopper. Is nothing but herbivores. Next, second is nothing but after second, third one. What is the third one? Consumers. What consumers? Secondary consumers. So that secondary consumer is what? Frog. This first consumer is nothing but primary consumer is eaten by the secondary consumer as their food. So it is called carnivores. Carnivores are going to be there. Next, if you see tertiary, is nothing but these secondary consumers are eaten by the tertiary consumers. Again, after this, also we have one more segment. It is called as top carnivores. So, how many levels are there? First level, second level, third level, fourth, and fifth. So, total 5 segments are there. 5 trophic levels are there. First trophic level is producers, and the second trophic level is primary consumer. Third trophic level is what? Secondary consumers. And fourth trophic level is what? Tertiary consumers. And fifth trophic level is what? Top carnivores. So by taking this, we are going to explain about different type of pyramids. So if you see, different type of pyramids are there. What are they? Pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, and pyramid of energy. 3 types. First one, pyramid of number, and second one, pyramid of biomass, and third one, pyramid of energy. So 3 types of ecological pyramids are there. So if you see, first one, what is that? Pyramid of number. So if you represent graphically the food chain in a pyramid, that is called pyramid of number. So in this pyramid of number, the organisms which are living, they are used to be like this. What? First, plants. Plants are called producers. Insects, they are the primary consumers of the ecological pyramid. Next, frog. Frog is the secondary consumer. Next, eagle is called as a tertiary consumer. So if you see, the organisms are most to scale is nothing but whenever we travel from the bottom to top. So first, most plants are there. So many insects are eating that most plants. Next, many insects are there, but fewer frogs are there. Fewer frogs are there. Only some eagle is nothing but scale. Sometimes it is absent also. So like this, they are most, many, fewer, and scale. So when you observe the pyramid of number, the size of the organism is increasing. The size of the organism is increasing, but the number of the organism is decreasing. This is the relation between the food and feeder. So the number of organisms size is increasing. If you see, plant size is means nothing but grass very small, insect size somewhat big. If you see insect and frog, frog size is somewhat big. If you see frog and eagle, that eagle size is somewhat big body size. So organism size is increasing, but the number is decreasing. See, most to many, right. So if you see second type, what is the second type? Pyramid of biomass. If you observe the pyramid of biomass, so first of all we have to know what is mean by biomass. Either plant product or animal product which can be used to release energy, that is called biomass. What? Either plant product or else animal product, whatever it is. So if it is used to release energy, what it is releasing? Energy, that is called as a biomass. This biomass is used as a biofuel also. What it is? Biofuel also. So if you observe from top to bottom or bottom to top, see, this is bottom, no? So from bottom to top, the same. Here what we have producers. If you observe grass, grass is our producer, is nothing but plant. Plants are eaten by herbivores. Whenever the herbivores are eating this grass, they will get some mass, is nothing but some muscles are going to develop. So these herbivores are eaten by predators. Again, predators are going to be eaten by hawk. Yes or no? So they are going to gain some muscle power, is nothing but muscles. Okay. So this is about a pyramid of biomass. If you can consider from here to here, grass. If grass will be eaten by herbivores, herbivores are also going to get some biomass. It is going to develop its body size. Next, herbivores are eaten by predators. Again, predators are going to get some biomass. Next, energy is going to release or not. So if you see same here, 10% la. Okay, na? Only 10 to 20% only going to be converted from each trophic level, from here to here, here to here, here to here. Only 10% of biomass is going to transfer from one trophic level to another trophic. What is pyramid of energy? If you observe the trophic levels from here to here, what will happen? The energy is transferring from one trophic level to another trophic level in the form of energy. So whenever the grass is eaten by grasshopper, it is getting some energy. and next grasshopper is eaten by frog, frog is getting energy, and snake also eating the frog and it is also getting energy. If you take calories, what are calories? Calories are called as the units of energy. So if you take here 1000 grass or plants are eaten by 100 grasshoppers. Next 10 frogs will be eaten the 100 grasshoppers. Next one snake can eat all this. So calories, if you see calories, calories, calories. So if you write all these, so what it is? Calories is nothing but energy transferring from one trophic level to another trophic level. So if you move forward from the bottom to top, only 10% is going to transfer. So this is called 10% law. What is called as 10% law is nothing but remaining. What is the 90%? What about 90%? This 90% will be 90% will be dissipated. Dissipated nothing but in the form of respiration. So during the respiration and also during the metabolic activities, so 90% will be get consumed. Only 10% will be transferred from one trophic level to lake. So this Kolleru Lake is a water, sweet water lake which is located between the West Godavari and Krishna districts of AP, not in Telangana right now. But here if you see, this is a water, what water? Sweet water lake which extended up to 6121 kilometers square. It was extended up to 6121 kilometer square. So what is the specialty of this Kolleru lake? Actually it is a sweet water lake, no. So that is why flora and fauna, nearly 193 species of flora and fauna is living there. Different type of species, nothing but biodiversity we can see. Next if you see, 20 lakhs of birds are coming each year as a migratory birds. So between the monsoon season, what is happening? The birds are coming to here and they will lay the eggs here and also they will move to their area. Nothing but like East Asia and Siberia, that cranes are coming. Siberian crane, already you have listened about. Migratory birds, why they are migrating? In search of better conditions for their reproduction and food and shelter, they are coming to India and they lay the eggs here, and after laying they will hatch the eggs and move along with their children to back to their country. So if you see, in 1999 Indian government declared as it's a birds sanctuary. What it is declared? Indian government declared as a bird sanctuary. But here what happened? Whenever it was declared as a government asset, so all the farmers who are nearby the El Kolleru lake, they had been started occupying. So because of that, what the size of the Kolleru lake was decreased. The size of the Kolleru lake was decreased because of human activities only. And what they started? They started aquaculture practice there. Okay, and also agriculture practices, and also set up some industries. Okay, now. So because of all these, what happened? Aquaculture, because of the waste products which are getting from that, also releasing into this Kolleru lake. Next, agriculture practice also going on. So here what they are using? They are using pesticides and insecticides. So that also going to be pollute the water of Kolleru lake. Next, industries. All the industries waste also they are releasing into the Kolleru lake. Because of all these are what human activities only, no. Because of all this human activity, the depth of the Kolleru lake is going to decrease, and also the size was decreased. The size also was decreased. So here Ministry of MOF, we discussed already. MOF, Ministry of Environment and also Forest. They had been sent one committee to know about the Kolleru lake situation. So afterwards we have EBWR. What is that EBWR? Hyderabad Water Reservoir. EBWR, Hyderabad Water Reservoir. So which is located in the district of Medchel. It is belongs to Telangana. So here also due to industries, what happened? All the industrial effluents are releasing into this EBWR reservoir. EBWR reservoir. then what happened? The water is get polluted. Water get polluted, and some species are they are getting problem. What problem? Here, if you see that biologists, ecologists selected one fish. What is that fish name? Common scale carp. The scientific name of this common scale carp is Cyprinus carpio. Cyprinus carpio. So this they have selected this fish, and 27 times, 27 samples they have been collected and observed the concentration of metals in this EBWR water. So then what happened? The Indian standards are there. What is Indian standard? Is nothing but the standard which should be maintained in India. It was extended. Already it was exceeded. And happened. What happened? Chromium, sorry, cadmium, chromium, ferrous, and lead. Then after nickel. So this was the present situation of metal concentration in EBWR. What are the? Cadmium, first place; chromium, second place; ferrous, third place; lead, fourth place; nickel, fifth place. This is the present situation, but actually this is not the Indian standard. So if you want to know that, once refer to the textbook. Okay, right. Thank you. And next, whenever we observe when we observe that pollutants are joining in the ecosystem, pollutants are joining in the ecosystem, that is called bioaccumulation. Bioaccumulation. What do you mean by accumulation? Pollutants are joining in the trophic levels, is nothing but in an ecosystem. Pollutants are joining in an ecosystem, that is called what? Bioaccumulation. So this bioaccumulation. Next, biomagnification also there. What is biomagnification? Whenever you observe biomagnification, pollutants are tendency of pollutants to reach from one trophic level to another trophic level, then it is called as biomagnification. From one trophic level to another trophic level, then it is called as what? Biomagnification. And one more, two expands are there, BOD. So because of all these, what will happen? Oxygen demand, biological oxygen demand. BOD means what? Biological oxygen demand is nothing but what percent of oxygen should be there in the water to survive the organisms is called what? BOD, biological oxygen demand. Next, DO. What is DO? Dissolved oxygen in water is called DO, dissolved oxygen, right? So the dissolved oxygen and biological oxygen demand. So eutrophication, one more there, eutrophication. What do you mean by eutrophication? Unwanted weeds are growing in the water bodies. Unwanted weeds are growing in the water bodies like Hydra, Pistia, Vallisneria is growing in the water bodies like Kolleru Lake. So that is called what? Eutrophication. Because of indiscriminate usage of insecticides and pesticides. What will happen when the rain falls? What will happen? The water will be run off from the fields to a water body. So then what will happen? Nourishment, nutrition is more in that. So then what will happen? The weeds are growing more, and it is making imbalance in the ecosystem. So that is called what? Eutrophication, growing of weeds in a water body. What, in what way? Aggressive way. We cannot control it. So that, right. So next topic is Sparrow Campaign. What the next topic is? Sparrow Campaign. This Sparrow Campaign was started in the China country in the year 1958. So what is their belief? Only because of sparrow they are getting production, less production of food materials. So cereals are going to get damaged. So crops are going to get damaged and they are getting less production of food material, they thought. So by that time they started anti-sparrow campaign, nothing but anti-sparrow army. So they started hunting. Huh? Okay, whenever they started hunting, what happened? The sparrows are flew away. Flew away means what? They are vanished from the place. So even though next year also is nothing but after completion of or after the campaigning of this anti-sparrow campaigning, even though they are getting less production, that is because of one low cost. So it was explained by scientists. Whenever a scientist opened the gut of the gut means what? Intestine, small intestine, large intestine, there no. So food, what food type, what type of food is eaten by the sparrow, want to know. So by that time they observed locusts. Most of the locust organisms only inside the gut of the sparrow instead of cereals. So then they thought a sparrow is not a animal or bird which is going to damage the crops. It is protecting the crops. But by that time what happened, already the work was done. What happened? The sparrows are already vanished from the place. Again they started inviting the sparrows. So that is what sparrow campaign. Next, if you see, here we discussed about pests. To control the pests, what are the measurements we have to take? So precautions to take. Prevention. What is the prevention methods? So first one, pesticides. The chemical which is used to control the pest is called what? Pesticides. What are they? Here we have one statement: ban all pesticides. Is nothing but if you ban all the pesticides, how to control the pests? So it is not good. So it should be in control. If you use pesticides, what will happen? It leads to water pollution, soil pollution, as well as air pollution also. So that is why they are asking not to ban the pesticides, but it should be under the control. Next, rotation of crops. So year by year you are changing the crop, means what? Whatever the disease causing organisms are there in the field, they will be get eliminated. If not, they are going to increase more and more. The number will be increased and we are going to get less production. Next, studying of life histories. So if you study the life history of the pests, what will happen? We can kill them at a perfect time. Suppose caterpillar, that is the stage they may not go more easily. So then if you spray these pesticides or if you use something else, it is easy to eliminate them. Next, biological control. What I mean by biological control? Biologically, some predators are there. Predators is nothing but the organism which are depending on their for their food needs, is nothing but like if you allow salamanders, sparrows and other birds, what will happen? They will eat the pests. Then we can control that biologically. Next, genetic strains. If you observe genetic strains, we have BT. In 8th class we have studied about BT. Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. What it is? Bacillus thuringiensis. So Bacillus thuringiensis is a bacteria which is coated on the seeds. The seeds are coated with this bacteria. Whenever we sow in the soil, what will happen? That caterpillar or something else came to eat it. This Bacillus thuringiensis will grow and it will damage the gut or intestine of the organism. Okay, so that is why we can also going to control. Next, environmental ethics are there. So not to kill them, humanity. We have to show humanity. We are all human beings. Live and let live. They also have to survive, but not to get killed. Right. So environmental ethics also they keep in the mind and send them out. Okay, by making some sounds or something else. Nowadays farmers are using different type of techniques to avoid the pests and all. So we can use them. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 methods are there to control the pests. Thank you, and please watch my videos and please subscribe and encourage me. Yours Surendra sir. Thank you.